Hey guys, Tony here, Black Hills Mommy. I figured it's been about a month and a half since we've lived in our 9-bedroom house, and I should update and let you know where things are at, how it's going, what we think of it, and when you can expect a tour. So, like I said, month and a half. We closed on August 10th. We did not move in until about the 12th or 13th. And it has been a nonstop stream of projects since then. We did have some surprises creep in. We put new flooring down in 2 of the bedrooms. We plan 2 downstairs, which tomorrow when the sun is up, I plan on trying to do a video of at least one of those rooms. The other one still needs a little bit more work, but our oldest has moved into her room. It does still need trim. And someday we will update the bathroom a bit more too. But on Instagram, if you follow me on there, you'll know that what the room looked like before we started. So I do have that picture too that I will share. Anyhow, we went to put the flooring down in both the oldest 2 girls' rooms, and in our second oldest, there was some discrepancy with the information we had been told, but it turns out there had been a decent amount of water in the closet from a pipe leak above the closet. They fixed the pipes. Somebody fixed the pipes, but the water was not ever properly cleaned up. So when we went to paint it, we thought something looked off, and then as soon as Sean went to put the flooring down, he decided to take the trim off to get the flooring to fit properly, because we took out the really low pile office grade carpeting and put in a nice laminate wood plank, and the thickness was enough different. He popped the trim off. As soon as he did that, there was mold everywhere. So all that trim came off. He started cutting out sheetrock, and he found that on one end wall of the closet, the mold was floor to ceiling. So he pretty much re-sheetrocked the entire closet. Thankfully, he's really handy. He did a really decent job on that. We did find some mold on the opposite wall, both sides of that wall, but he got it all taken out. There's one spot he still has to patch up, which is why she has not moved into that room yet. There is no more mold. Everything was cleaned and treated, but there's a small section that doesn't have wall in it yet, and we still have to repaint the closet and get that much done. It's got the sheetrock, but that's where that stopped. So when he gets back from his business trip, that will be on our to-do list to get that done. He has been changing out light fixtures. You might see the sconce up there. They used to be hideous brass, stuck in the 80s. And that was one of the first things he did, was swap some of those out. So we've been doing all sorts of projects along those lines, just little things to upgrade, make it feel more like home. And we got the new appliances, which you may have seen the fridge in my fridge, freezer, pantry video. You may also see the fridge in my review of the GE Slate appliances. So if you haven't, check those out. I will attempt to put a link down in the description, but I'm not very good at that at the moment, so please bear with me on that. Anyhow, we got the new appliances. Lowe's, we were not very thrilled. The appliances were supposed to be here the week after we moved in. We wanted them when we moved in, but that a week will be fine. It took over a month past then to get them. They had some issues where Lowe's forgot to pick them up from GE, so that's a whole other story. Anyhow, once they finally arrived, we found that there was some issues in the kitchen, that the fridge didn't want to fit quite the way it should. So Sean, being handy, just went ahead and took out the small cabinet between the stove and the fridge and revealed a ton of mold that may have been hidden. We are working on that. But because of the mold and everything, we had to bring a company in to take a look and get an estimate. At the moment, they said we are fine because he put up a vapor barrier, which they said was well done and is keeping everything sealed off, and that the linoleum floor acts as a vapor barrier. So we shouldn't be too worried. I don't know if the sinus issues everybody has going on is because of all this mold or it's changing seasons in the hills. I mean, we all have allergies too, so it's so hard to say. Anyhow, the kitchen's half torn apart. We will be redoing the kitchen here at some point. We are waiting for some stuff to happen there. I don't know what I can or should say, so we're going to hold off on that. I can't wait to show you guys though once it's done. I can't wait to have a kitchen again. And let me tell you what having 7 kids and no stove is like, because right now the fridge is in my dining room, the stove's out on the porch, and there's a giant plastic barrier over half my kitchen. We have access to the sink, the dishwasher. It's actually still fairly functional. It's just kind of a mess and not convenient. Actually, that's my biggest issue. It's not convenient. I'm a person of convenience. Anyhow, other than that, we've been unpacking. We've been getting everything set. Things are really coming along. I have to say it's kind of starting to feel like home. There's still some quirks that are going to take some getting used to. This house is older than what we've owned for several years. It is the second oldest home we have owned, but only by 4 years. And actually, I don't know if that really counts. Our very first house was built in 1980. This house was built in 1984. So there's the 4 years. But we owned our first home about 15 years ago. 14 years ago, somewhere in there. So it wasn't this old when we owned it. I don't know. You do the convoluted math on that one. It's too late for me. But that's where the house is at. It's coming along, like I said, it's starting to feel more like home. We've been able to watch the deer through the yard many, many times. The little ones get a kick out of it. I see giant poop factories in my yard, but you know, whatever. We've seen the turkey come in, which there's about a dozen of them. They came through several days in a row. The one day they got a little bold and they were hanging out on the patio in the back off the basement, which again, the kids thought was pretty cool. I don't know if I care for them being that close. Again, it's nature, it's wildlife. What am I going to do until we have a fence or anything else up? I just got to deal with it. We did get a trampoline up for the kids finally, which sounds really absurd because we're moving into winter. But if you're unfamiliar with Black Hills weather, this is considered a banana belt area. So while we have winter, we never truly experience just one season in a season. So like this last week, we've had frost, we've had snow up in the hills. We even had a day here where may or may not have been some tiny flakes coming down in almost a mist type form. Tomorrow is going to be 80 degrees out. And then I think 2 days later, it's supposed to be back in the 40s. That is what the weather is like here. So even though we're moving into winter, we're going to have snow and other stuff, we're going to have plenty of nice days where the kids can go outside and jump. And I need them to go outside sometimes. So we went ahead and put it up. Weather be darned, right? I don't know. I'm trying to think what else I can tell you about the house. If you have any questions or anything specific you want to see, let me know. I'll show you what I can. Like I've said in a previous video, when I do the tour, it's going to be of individual rooms themselves, not actually the floor plan or the setup of the house, other than our main living space, which you'll probably see on average just from filming anyhow. So, one other thing, if you haven't noticed in the background in some of the videos, we have a beautiful fire alarm system. Commercial grade red fireboxes on the wall. I don't even know what to say about that. It was one of the first things that we agreed we would rip out. We obviously have put that on the back burner for the moment. I figured giant red beacon on the wall meant a particular 6-year-old boy or even a 3-year-old girl just has to touch it. I mean, if you haven't read the Don't Push the Button books, these fire alarms, I keep glancing over at one, sorry. These fire alarms are a giant don't push the button. It's seriously, but they haven't yet, which is kind of nice. I really don't want to hear what this alarm sounds like when it goes off. We did have to confirm that it's not actively connected to a security system. So we don't have to worry at the moment about the fire truck showing up if it goes off. However, if you've ever heard a commercial grade fire alarm system go off, they are loud. And we are 2 blocks from the fire station. So I actually have zero doubt that if somebody pulled it, they would still show up. Yay, me! No, it's all good. We will eventually get them removed, which I know kind of sounds contradictory, but I would rather have a system of ceiling mounted fire alarm systems rather than the wall mounted fire boxes, which, you know what, here's a picture of one just so you can see. Okay, so yeah, giant beacon on the wall, right? I would rather have the ceiling mounted ones than these, which I know is going to get pulled at some point. The question is when. So there it is. Like I was saying before, if you have any questions, leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like my video, but more than that, please subscribe, share this. Have fun with me. That's the way we live life. Have a blessed day. See you later.